Greetings and welcome. About to have a great session about this idea of who's holding you back. I'll answer that question for you if you don't already know. 9 times out of 10, you're the person holding yourself back. Your limiting beliefs, the conditioning, the programming that you've experienced throughout your life is a source of what's holding you back. You've been programmed, you've been conditioned in a way that you've adopted some of those beliefs and they're keeping you comfortable. They're keeping you in a place of stagnation, a place where there's a lack of growth. And people find comfort in places where they don't have to work hard. So, those that are just jumping in, the question I was asking is who's holding you back? Who's holding you back? Sometimes conversations like this start off with, well, if this person would only listen, if this person would do what I asked them to do, then I could do X, Y, Z. And it's like, no, 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 no. You can't say if someone else does something that would allow you to thrive, that would allow you to be successful. You're putting too much weight on other people and abdicating yourself of your duty to yourself, the ownership, the accountability. One of the pitfalls of people who are stagnant is they don't have the correct metrics for their growth. They don't have accountability. Some people feel like they need an accountability partner. I will give you an accountability partner, especially if you don't have a coach. Your accountability partner is you. Look in the mirror and every single day, ask yourself, did I leave it all out there? Am I satisfied with how I carried myself today? Am I satisfied with the results that I got from today? Am I satisfied from my interactions I've had today? Things start changing. Wayne Dwyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. So this may mean a family member, a spouse, a business partner. If you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change. And that's law, right? That's just how it is. So those who are just jumping into the space, I'm asking you all, who's holding you back? Who's keeping you from living a life that you truly want to live? And in some cases, you should be able to arrive at the answer like that. Who's keeping you stuck at that job? Who's keeping you in that same living arrangement? That same income level? That relationship, that toxic relationship. And I'm not just saying romantic, the toxic people that you allow into your space, the toxic people that you give your time and energy to. Who's allowing that? Who is permitting that to happen? Those positive people over there that are at a distance, who's keeping them at bay? Who's keeping them away from you? You are. And it's just like promotions at work. Some people are fearful of success because with success comes a higher level of responsibility, a higher level of expectations, a higher level of accountability. I always tell people if you can hold yourself accountable, no one else has to. No one else has to. And I was talking earlier about some common causes to people holding themselves back. For one, we set these small goals. This is my struggle with the acronym for SMART goal, the specific, measurable, attainable, all that stuff, right? Time bound. My hang up with SMART goals is the A. It has to be achievable or attainable. For me, that's not big enough. When we make these small goals, we keep ourselves in a small space. Like we put ourselves in a small little box and it's guided by just small thoughts. It's not guided by, I want my dream job. I want my dream home. I want my dream relationship. I want to attract favor from everyone. I want to thrive. It's just guided by this idea of survival. And we'll say things like, yep, if I hit that small goal, that will help me hit the next goal. The next goal is the same size. So you are going to commit to a lifetime of small goals when your counterparts are achieving these huge goals, right? Your counterparts are buying these huge houses and you're like, nah, I'm just going to, set a small goal because the goal is home ownership, right? It's like I would say, listen, go for it all. Here's the difference I noticed between children, adolescents, and adults. Children dream so big. They'll take a popsicle stick and they'll say, I'm going to turn this into a propeller and make it fly like a helicopter and yada, yada, yada. As we get a little bit older, we start saying, well, that can't work. That can't work because we're not using the faculties of our imagination to imagine it working. The Wright brothers, when they came up with the airplane concept, they were, oh, we're gonna have transportation by flight, and everyone else was like, huh? How in the world are you gonna do that? But they used the faculties of their imagination to literally take flight. The Brightland brothers, oh, yep, they did it. But again, as I said, from childhood to adulthood, something changes with our imagination. We stop imagining, we stop dreaming, we start listening, but it's not listening to the right stuff. We start taking advice from the wrong people who haven't achieved anything we aspire to do or be or achieve. We start listening to people that themselves have set some teeny tiny goals, and we start setting teeny tiny goals just like them. And then we look around like, I can't live in a house like that. I met someone one time, I was wearing some running shoes, and they said, oh, I can't wear shoes like that. I can't pull that off. It's quite simple. You go to the shoe store, you tell them your size, you try it on, you walk out the store with your new pair of shoes. But when you have these small goals and these limiting beliefs of what you can't do, then you're right. You can't do it. You can't pull it off. And it's not because you're not capable, it's because on a subconscious level, you've been so conditioned that that way of thinking is just okay. This is how I do it. This is how I think. Some people don't even take vacations because they're constantly replaying in their mind some programming in their subconscious mind that says you can't go on those kind of vacations. Vacation is not for you. You've got work to do. Woo! Y'all gonna get me on a path. Beth made a comment. I have ADHD and have a very creative mind. Beth, salute to you for being vulnerable and for sharing that in this space. And the first thing I want to say to you is also salute to you for maintaining your creative mind because sometimes we fall into some things, we connect with some people that literally stifle our creativity. There's a group of people in our society, and I won't talk too much about this, right? Because for many reasons, but they feel like schools, public education stifles creativity. And let's take it a step further. I'm going to say this one. This is my personal and professional opinion. I feel like higher education stifles creativity. I do. A lot of the work I've done as coaching has been with doctoral students, right? I connect with a lot of doctoral students that feel defeated. Their dissertation chair quit, took a job at another university. Their new chair tells them their research questions stink, and they just feel so defeated, don't know where to begin. And I start connecting with them and looking at their work and their intellect, maybe their first draft. And I'll say, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened to the research questions you used in draft one? Oh, my professor told me that those were garbage. And it's like, does your professor understand how your creative mind is functioning right now? Because they just stifled it. They just stifled it. Why? Right? For no reason except for they could. So you just got to be mindful of that, right? And I always tell people, be mindful of who you let share an opinion with you. Be mindful of who you allow to speak on your creativity, to speak on your idea. And this is a problem that we have in society. We constantly seek validation. We constantly seek validation. We're worried about what people think of us. Well, I wonder if my idea is good. It only matters what those people over there think if they're going to finance and fund your idea. Other than that, their opinion doesn't matter. I get it. They might be your parents, and that's fine. I coach people on this all the time. We have to understand what we should or shouldn't be sharing with certain people. Sometimes it's our family that we can't tell, hey, I'm doing XYZ. Hey, I'm about to move this way. Hey, right? Beth, thank you for being vulnerable as well. Beth wrote, I homeschool my daughter off and on throughout elementary, use creativity. There you go. There you go. And my background, Beth, is in education. And I started in the preschool daycare setting. And I'll tell you right now, like back in those spaces, the play-based learning, like the creativity was thriving. And then when I saw that transition into public school, I spent a lot of years teaching kindergarten, teaching third grade. When I saw that transition with how creativity was starting to be stifled, I'm just like, this isn't this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not how we're supposed to be moving with our kids. Hmm. Yep. So I'm gonna circle back because I see a few comments around what I was saying. Oh, gotcha. My co-founder is my mom. Gotcha. Okay. I see you. I see you, Jeff. I see. Let me just see. Uh, Jeff, I don't see a way to invite you through video. I know you were asking. I don't know if it's a restriction you have on your account, but I just don't see an option to get you here, Jeff. If you could, maybe you could send an inquiry or something. Let me just see. Gotcha. Let's do it. Let's talk, Jeff. Am I saying that right, Jeff?
Yeah, that's right.
How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for letting me join too. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk.
Yeah.
So you got so you working on your PhD?
So my mom, she just got her PhD in SPED.
Okay, congrats.
Thank you. And she's 20 years in the game. She's a vet, working with child care services and building curriculums for programs. And me, I have more of a startup background. So,
okay.
I'm a software engineer, 7 years working on startups, and got a call of an idea that she had for a problem in the classroom with handling data.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? Let's tag team.
Right.
No problem. I seen you grow from a teacher in the classroom to doing more admin stuff, so it's a no-brainer. And then the kids need it. The kids need support for teachers so that they can have more bandwidth. So it's been a challenge though, because one, she's my mom, and it's hard to give like feedback when we're in some of these meetings, but also I realize her background being a little bit more limiting with creativity, because you come from a more structured like hierarchy when submitting ideas for her PhD. Like she's been doing that for the past like couple of years.
Okay.
It's kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm a little bit burnt out, but I'm in it for the long run. So I'm in it, to see this thing grow. But I'm just looking for ways to communicate better with her, and also kind of tap into her learning style, her creative style.
Absolutely. No, and I totally understand that. I would say, what kind of parameters do you all have around this project in terms of communication?
So we have a team of 5. We have a couple other engineers and another. They're all teachers.
Okay.
Which is awesome, by the way. And we do like a Zoom style once a week. We all meet. But we also, me and her, we have our one-on-ones.
Okay.
And I do sense like she voice conflict, and it's like that's not why we're working together. I value your difference in thought process, which is why I want you to speak out. I want to hear your thoughts, even if it's not lining with mine, and then we get on the same page. So,
right.
as a result of, just avoiding conflict altogether, we meet less, because it just has become like super like tough,
Right.
It's been tough. So we skip, and then I have a 1-year-old, so I'm like, I'm a dad now. I got a little bit short of like patience,
Right.
and I'm still patient with her, but it's like, let's get to the nitty gritty of it. Let's not beat around the bush. If we disagree, then we disagree, but we should both speak up and be productive.
So let me ask you, when you are engaging in those one-on-ones, is it business or is it business / you're still my mom, I'm still your son?
That's a great question because it's mostly business, and then I call her like to let her know this is not about business. I start with that, like, look, it's not about business. How are you? Say like we check in.
Okay.
So we still have that dialogue. However, like I think she forgets and then blends. She conflates it, and then problems conflate. But also the good things conflate, but also the problems conflate sometimes.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
just keeping that that boundary, or those boundaries are important, and I want to keep it up. And she sees it as me being too, like, I don't know, too hard on her.
Right.
And I tell her like, like I love you. That'll never change.
Right.
But we need to keep it separate in order to grow.
Yeah. No. First and foremost, I think it's really cool that you all are working on a project of this caliber together. That's absolutely remarkable. The other thing that comes to mind though is agendas. So whenever you all meet in this business, do you have an agenda that you are not deviating from? And when mom brings up something like, hey, I want to talk to you about 4th of July, who's hosting? And you're able to redirect and say, that's not on the agenda. We're only focused on agenda items today, mom.
Yeah. So I try to keep it as structured as possible.
Okay, great.
And I do send texts ahead of time too, so that she knows it's not just like during the time of the meeting. Absolutely. So we keep that communication, but it gets sidetracked pretty quick. That's the most I can say. Like it gets sidetracked pretty quick, and she wants to talk more. Like to backtrack, so we do set the agenda, but she has a lot of ideas. And it's like, okay, those ideas are great, but I would like to stay focused. And I want to talk family stuff too,
right,
outside of those ideas. But we gotta, stay on task. But it becomes exhausting. And when it's one person doing it, it's exhausting. I can't be the only one
right,
to keep the agenda up. So I got burnt out with that, and then I kind of just been operating in a more solo capacity, like just mindset wise, it's just for my own sanity. It's just like
Gotcha. So and smart move, right? Sometimes you gotta know when to step back and protect your peace. But the other thing I'll ask you is the framing. So when you're having these conversations with mom and the team, how are you framing these conversations? And by framing, I mean a number of things. Like you could literally use a framework and say, this is the framework that's going to guide our dialogue today. We're going to focus on the macro components and then the micro components. Like how are you framing these conversations so that it's accessible to everyone and everyone gets it?
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna definitely look into. That's a good word. For sure.
Yeah, because
I don't have anything that come to mind, but if you got anything to
I'll give an example right now. So when I'm coaching clients, we always start with the end in mind. Like, what's our end goal? And even if it's a short-term goal, it's not I want to be a millionaire in 5-year goal. That's fine. So we start with the end goal. Okay, so and I'll use a real example. I was working with an aspiring rapper not too long ago, and I said, "What's the end goal?" And he said, "Well, I got my record deal." And I said, "Okay. And what are you doing? You got your record deal. What are you buying?" "Oh, I'm going to go to get a chain with a pendant on it. Okay, so we start working backwards. You got the deal, you got the money. Now you're going to start buying it. You want a chain with a pendant. Where are you buying the chain from? Jewelry Unlimited. Tell me about this pendant. Oh, it's a pendant of my mom. She passed away, yada, yada, yada. Who are you hanging out with now? Hey, I'm with my brothers. What are you driving? Oh, we drove up in a Hummer, this and that. Like, so frame it from the end goal. Mom, we want to publish this data software, whatever this package is, because we know it could be emulated across the country. That's our end goal. How are we going to get there? We're going to get there through strategic planning, through sharing and exchanging feedback. A lot of people on the team are teachers, as you said. So we have to have some input from them and some iterations. Like here's a draft of the app. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. We could change the interface based on your feedback, and then continue to work backwards from there. All the way to present day, here's where we are. We're in the planning and talking stages, but we already worked back from the end. We got a distribution deal. This package is going out. It's accessible at Power School. It's LinkedIn, whatever the case is. And here's the price that we're packaging that at.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think that having a framework will definitely help. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try that in our meetings to see what progress we make. But yeah, it got to be a two-way street. I think too. I just want to make sure she knows that, and I think we could definitely make it work. It's just establishing a new foundation. Because the process we currently got not working, but that come with any business. You run into walls.
Right.
And this is just our walls.
So and even with that conversation, right? Listen, we got to have this quick meeting because what we're currently doing is not working. And we have to move in a different direction, but it's a collective process. So I don't want to move us there without everyone's input and insight, right? So just think about how you want to frame that conversation, because that will be huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And keep me posted.
I appreciate the help, man.
Listen, send me a message, keep me posted, let me know the update.
Absolutely. All right, take it easy.
Absolutely, you too, brother. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right. So we covered a lot today. We started off with this idea of who's holding you back. Who's holding you back? So I'm going to just put it in the space. I just want to let that sink in with everyone, especially people that just jumped in. Who is holding you back? It's not that we don't have access. We all have access. And I'm not even a fan of AI. I'm not a fan of ChatGPT. We all have access to that. We all have Magic AI and Gemini. We all have access to these things. So whether it's starting your business, you can't say, well, I don't know how to start a business plan. If you understand the right prompts to use with ChatGPT or any of this AI software, you can get a business plan. And I love how Desi replied to that. And this takes a level of ownership and vulnerability, and Beth as well. Sometimes you are holding yourself back. I'm going to say this, Beth, I'm going to up the ante. And simply Desi said, often it's nobody but me. I'm going to say skip the often and skip the sometimes. It's us. We hold ourselves back. We start making excuses. And I always tell people, I never tell people to do things that I don't do myself or I haven't done. But more often I find people give the advice and they haven't done it and they wouldn't dare do it. Oh yeah, go on that big roller coaster, and they've never been on a roller coaster in their life. Oh yeah, you can go apply for LLC, use Taylor Brands. And it's like, well, who would you use? Oh, I used my cousin's friend and it didn't work, so I didn't do it, right? Like people are constantly telling you to do some things that they haven't done. So you gotta be mindful of that. And when you're taking advice from these people, you can't blame those people and say, well, they told me to do it. You used your judgment. You consented to following those people, and you therefore are holding yourself back. Ooh. It's always easier to talk about it than to truly know about it, let alone be about it, right? That whole idea of don't talk about it, be about it rings so true right now. It rings so true. Here's the thing about personal growth and development. It's ongoing. There's no end date. You can't say, well, by December 2027, I'm going to have made all the growth I can make on a personal and professional level. That's complacency. That means that you stop setting a bigger goal. Wow. Wow. And I'm telling you, it takes a level of vulnerability. It takes a level of honesty. Two Bless said, "This is true. I obtained a business license and LLC in 2019, and still I've done nothing." I want to talk briefly about when you really level up, and salute to you for being vulnerable. When you really level up, I think you need to surround yourself with positive, encouraging people. Beth, we're going to get to that as well because there's some gatekeepers. And I'll ask you this one, Beth, before I get into that one. Think about this, Beth. Who do millionaires hang out with? Feel free to type it in the comments. Who do millionaires hang out with? And anyone can answer that question. Who do millionaires hang out with? Other millionaires. So it's not as simple as go surround yourself with positive and encouraging people because I'm gonna tell you right now, Beth, I got my guards are up, and if you are not a positive, encouraging person yourself, you wouldn't hang out in my circle. Like I wouldn't allow you into my space. And I'm not saying this from a coaching lens. When I coach, that's what I do. I coach people to move towards those directions, right? But I'm just saying on a personal level, if you're not a positive, encouraging person, just because you want to hang out with one, don't mean that we gonna let you in. Oh yeah, come on over, use my pool. Go ahead, jump in my jacuzzi. No. Um, so you just gotta think of that too. That's where the honesty and the reflection come in at. And that's where the personal growth work comes in at. Like, how am I going to shift my mindset? I've been conditioned this way all my life. And the conditioning, to some extent, was not a choice. But the way I'm living and moving as an adult now, that's my choice. The music I consume, that's my choice. If I drink coffee or tea, my choice. Water or beer or alcohol, some type of other intoxicant, a choice. So we have to start realizing why we are where we are. When we have our LLC and we don't do nothing with it, we are choosing to do nothing with it. We can't say, oh no, somebody didn't let me this and that. You could get your business credit. And then you can hear all the horror stories and choose to believe them, like well, I can't get no loan because I'm a minority or whatever the case is, right? Every year I pay a fee to maintain my license, but I lack the courage to leave my 9 to 5. So let me ask you this, too, Blessed. What do you really want to do? I'm going to give you some space to answer it. What is it that you truly want to do? You said you lack the courage to leave your 9 to 5. So it has nothing to do with courage. It has nothing to do with courage. It has everything to do with this idea of people do what they really want to do. People that want to do something, do it. People that don't want to do it, talk about it. People that want to play pro, thank you so kindly. People that want to play a pro sport, they work hard, they put the hours in, they get the trainer, they work the program, right? They do what they got to do. People that don't want to play pro, it sounds like this. Yeah, I was going to play pro, but I tore my ACL. I got hurt. Yeah, I had scouts looking at me. And then my mom was like, you need to come home and be with the family. Like they talk about it. Greetings. Thank you. Thank you. People that want to do something, they do it. That's why my question is, my simplest question is, what do you want to do? You paid a fee to have your license, but you lack the courage to leave your 9 to 5. For me, it sounds like you want to stay at your 9 to 5. It sounds like you're looking for things to come crumbling down at your 9 to 5. And then that LLC that you got on the back burner, is the scapegoat. Like, yep, see, I got my own business now. I'm gonna go do this. No, we have to stop waiting for things that go wrong, for bad things to happen, for us to do some great things. It's not about courage, it's about faith, right? We got some church people in here. Greetings, greetings. We got some church people in here. We walk by faith, not by sight, right? Didn't say we walk by courage. We walk by faith. Faith is something that you can't see. And going through the research around people that succeed, as I said earlier, people that want to do things, do them. I was talking with this about this with my wife recently, with people that I coach, with the research on people who are successful. The underlying common denominator is the fact that people that wanted to be successful had that desire. Like they wanted it. It was a burning desire. That's what Napoleon Hill talks about, having a burning desire. And then the faith. Wow. Ooh. Listen, I'm y'all being vulnerable tonight. It's been like that for me with fitness. I said I wanted to be fit, but I wanted comfort more. Yep. And until it was time for you to say, I desire being fit over comfort, you weren't going to move that needle. Faith without actions is not faith at all. That's interesting. So I wouldn't just say faith without actions, right? I would say it starts with faith. You have to have faith that what you want to do, what you want to achieve will come to fruition. And when you obsess about whatever it is that you want, the actions will come to you, right? So those of you that know me, you know I set goals every day. I start my day off with 10 goals, right? One of my goals is I am happily attracting favor from all people. I am happily attracting favor from all people. So when I have your undivided attention, when I have this captive audience, first and foremost, I'm so grateful. But look at this favor that I'm attracting. So I guess the action would be me logging on to TikTok and going live, or me logging into YouTube and going live. It starts with faith. It starts with seeing that intended outcome and not even worrying about the roadmap. And I think that's the hang up for a lot of people too. So I'm glad you said faith without actions is not faith at all. I think that's a hang up for a lot of people. They'll do the, I don't know how to get started. I don't know how to leave my 9 to 5. Nike used to have a saying, and don't quote me on I'm not trying to get messed up and sued by Nike. Their slogan used to be just do it. I don't know why they changed that, but I know that our society stopped operating that way. Everyone's like, I don't know how. Just do it. You could have all the equipment, right? You don't have to know how to play. Let me just give you a quick example real quick. You don't have to know how to play anything. Just do it. Just start tapping the keys and the pads. Like just do it. Stop sitting here like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do with my license. All right, for me, it's just easier said than done. I've always had family members tell me it's not wise. To be blessed, to bless. That's what we're talking about. When you have people who have helped to cultivate your limiting beliefs, and then you continue to subscribe and tap into what they're sharing. And there's the conditioning and the programming. You wrote, growing up, I was always taught to get a good job and stay on it. It takes money to start a business. Does it really though? I mean, you all see the TikTok videos and the clips. You can get the LLC and the EIN number is free. You get the LLC from your state, whoever it is, the state secretary, right? That might cost you 80 something bucks. It depends on what state you're in. It ranges, right? Look at it as an investment. I'm going to invest this 89 bucks and then I'm going to do X, Y, Z. The Bible says in all labor, there's profit. Not Dr. Lewis saying it. It's the Bible. It's biblical. In all labor, there is profit. The Bible didn't say it takes money to start a business. So where do we come up with this stuff? We put this stuff up against some proven stuff and we try to argue it. Just do it. Just do it. And there's tools that you have to use, right? And if you don't know, that's where coaching comes in. A lot of people don't know how to set goals. A lot of people don't know how to use their journal. A lot of people don't know how to pray. And I'm not trying to be controversial, right? There's this saying, you have not because you ask not, right? And some people literally think, okay, that means I got to go start asking. But if you come to the Lord in a spirit of gratitude, like when I pray for the food with my family, I say, Lord, thank you for allowing us to enjoy each other's company and enjoy some great food. Before we've even started talking, before we've even started eating, I'm already thanking. I'm not saying, dear Lord, please help us get along tonight and help the food taste good. Like I'm already in a spirit of gratitude. I'm coming to the Lord in a spirit of gratitude. Mm-hmm. And so to bless, you said, I think we, including myself, lack mentorship. So we got to get clear. Do we lack mentorship, just lacking the mentorship because we have access to it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, to bless, if you want mentorship, here I am. If you want to just jump into a course that I offer on goal setting, check my bio. Links in the bio. Got a masterclass that will literally walk you through how to set goals the right way, how to impress upon your subconscious mind at the right time, how to get the outcomes that you want. So we can't say we lack mentorship, but we don't take action, right? I'll say this. I think it's a lack of faith. We think our idea is going to flop, so we don't take the path that increases our likelihood of success because we don't believe we can succeed in the first place. So why would we try to get mentorship on a topic that we're concerned about, that we have some doubts about? So years ago, I had a supervisor that would always say, your goals should make you a little bit nervous. I never liked that because I believe setting goals has to be associated with a strong, positive, keyword, positive emotion. If my goals make me nervous, feeling nervous is not a positive emotion. It's a strong emotion. It's a fear-based emotion. It's a doubt-based emotion. And that's why I say people don't know how to set goals the right way. And then they wonder why they're not accomplishing their goals. Their goals are out of alignment. Their goals are conflicting with themselves, with their own thoughts. 1 minute they're writing a goal about abundance, but they're thinking and speaking of that goal from a place of lack. And I get it. Some of this might trigger some people because, again, it requires some reflection. That's okay. It's not for everyone. It's a choice. It's not for everyone. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Absolutely. You got me. You got me. But here's what I would say. We got to stop saying that we lack certain things when we have access to it and we're just not taking any action steps, right? We could have a library of books this big and beyond, but if we don't have an action step for each page, each chapter, each book we read, we are not doing the work. Some of us think just getting the book is doing the work. It's not. You're just buying another book you're adding to your library. Doing the work is you are in that book. Let me see if I can give you an example real quick. Because I don't want to just talk it. You're in that book. You're marking that book up with some stars and some asterisks, and you're writing your thoughts in there. And you're highlighting some pages, and you're like, that's me they're talking about. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. Like, that's doing the work. And then the mentorship piece is, hey, so-and-so, I've been reading about XYZ in this book, and I'm stuck. I tried to implement it this way because now we move to a place where I could ask you, to Blessed and whoever else, I could ask you, is it the system that you learned, or is it your implementation of the system? 9 times out of 10, it's your implementation. It's how you're trying to apply the concepts of that system. You're missing something. Like I said, the example I gave, you should feel nervous about your goals. Now, I subscribe to this belief of setting an impossible goal because the research shows that when you set an impossible goal, you obsess about that goal, you have faith in that goal, and you continue to figure out how do you really like 10 times your life and level up. You start creating the conditions, you start meeting the people that will move you towards that goal. And then when you create the metrics to measure your progress, game over. You're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. Why do I share this work with people? I share this because there's too many people out there in life that have done some great things, and they might mention what they've done, but they will not give you a blueprint. They will not give you the blueprint. Give me 1 sec here. Start looking up scriptures about God's loving instructions about not fearing. What scripture are you saying that you're starting to look up some scriptures, Beth? Hey, and you can't go wrong. If that's that. Okay, good, good. That's great work, Beth. Here's what I would caution though. Some people use the Bible as a tool, as in if I'm looking for some things about not having fear, I'm gonna go look all that up. Like I would caution to just read through the Bible, read through it. There's a series of some powerful stories and some powerful lessons throughout the Bible. And I think we often fall short when we want to do, bits and pieces. Like I'm gonna go look up some things just about not fearing. Um, look up, just read it. And here's the thing, Bev, that may not be the first your go-to, right? Start with what you said and then come, okay, I'm reading about, there you go. That's what I was gonna say. At some point, get to a place where you're just gonna read through it and just see how everything aligns and flows together. Yep, I love that. And Beth, just meeting you, I can already tell that you are in a place of learning. You have an open heart and an open mind, and that's what it takes in life. And sometimes when I have these conversations, it's triggering for some, it's enlightening for others. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. That's okay. If I'm going to tell you all you have to be vulnerable, I have to be comfortable in my own skin and be vulnerable and know that my words are just not for everyone. And I've had people, be vulnerable and say, listen, when you said that, it triggered me. Now we could get into why it triggered them, but that's a whole nother live. So yeah. So I'm truly grateful I've had this opportunity to engage with you all wonderful people. Here's some of your insight. Here's some of your thoughts. Here's some of your challenges. Too blessed. Wow. You asking those hard questions. Should I quit my job? And so, too blessed. I'm going to answer your question with a question. It was the question that you never answered earlier. What do you truly want to do? Like, I'll give you an example. My wife and I came to a conclusion some years back that we wanted to move, we wanted to level up, we wanted our dream home. Like we had a vision for having extending our family, some more babies, and house with a sidewalk and street lights and all that stuff, a gated backyard with a pool and hot tub, all the amenities, right? We wanted that burning desire. Not to worry about how it's going to happen, what are the next steps, the desire. This is the outcome, this is the image. That's what led to that reality. So when you say, should I quit my job? It goes back to what do you really want to do? And when we talk about the word should. Should is a tricky word because should is always associated with the person who said it, their values and beliefs. I want to be my own boss full time. We have our dream home already. So what are you waiting for? If you really want to be your own boss, to be too blessed, there's your decision. You don't even need to ask anyone. You got your answer. You just answered your own question. And here's what I would tell you. Don't wait till you quit your job. Start being your own boss now. So that way it's a transition into full time. Don't wait. And this is a struggle that people have all the time. They wait to the title, they wait to the positional power. Stop waiting. Act on it now. And again, if you start being your own boss now, too blessed, all it's going to be is a transition to that full time piece. Salute to you for that, Beth. Salute to you for that journey. Salute to you for, and I'm assuming you're at this place where you have a deep understanding of forgiveness. A deep understanding of forgiveness, a deep understanding of unconditional love. And if you're not there yet, then I'm sure that's ahead of you in your journey. Okay, good, 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 good. So you get it. Good. Because when we talk about who's holding us back, if we're feeling resentment towards someone, it's not them that's holding us back, it's us. We're hanging on to that. We're hanging on to that. And a while back, I had to be vulnerable and have that conversation with someone. And this one was different. This was unspoken resentment. Sometimes we hold ourselves back through unspoken resentment. We're feeling some kind of way and we're just carrying it around. But here's the crazy part, the person, the people, they can feel that energy. They might say, well, every time you come around, you're all grumpy. Or every time you come around, you're negative or you don't say hi, whatever. Like they feel that energy. So get it out there. Don't carry the unspoken resentment. Speak on it. Hey, speak on it. Create the process to release it and move on. And I'll give you all a quick tip, real quick, because I know a lot of people struggle with how do you release things? How do you move on? A while back, I was someone's supervisor, and they were acting a little crazy. I won't give the scenario for confidentiality, right? And the next day, they came to my office to apologize, and I said to them, "Forgiveness is it's not for the other person; it's for you." So I said, I forgive you. And I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to release this and never talk about it. So here's how you release it. You write down whatever it was that bothers you. And you might even say, I was really, whatever the emotion was, hurt when you chose not to follow my advice. Okay. So I'm going to just do a quick demonstration for you. I was really hurt when you chose not to follow my advice. That person might be in this room. Just gonna. I forgive you and release this. So I'm just going to show you what I did. Oop, it's not flip. There we go. I was really hurt when you chose not to follow my advice. I forgive you and release this. So to truly release this, I got to get rid of it. I can either tear it to shreds and flush it, because what you want to do is you want to get rid of it in a way that it's not retrievable. Like you won't get to go tape it back together. Or my preferred way is to burn it. Go out on the deck, light it, burn it, let it disappear into the earth, the atmosphere. And then here's a caveat. Don't talk about this anymore. Don't bring it up. Don't let it come up. If someone tries it, hey, could we talk about, I released that. I'm done with that. Got nothing to say about it. Don't even like utter anything about it aside from I got nothing to say about it. Don't even say, well, it wasn't even my fault or they did that. No, don't. Release it, burn it, don't talk about it. I promise you, it's so freeing. It's so fulfilling. It will allow you to move on. Too blessed. I work in a toxic environment, extremely toxic. So you got a choice to make. And then you got to think about two things. Your environment is either working for you or working on you. And if it's working on you, you may not be able to see that or the intended outcome. What you may see is, as you said, the toxicity, the stress, right? So just be mindful of that. If it's working for you, it wouldn't feel so toxic. You'd start attracting favor with some people that you just hadn't had favor with before. So just look for those things. Is this working on me or is it working for me? I'm willing to bet it's working on you because, again, you can't see the tangible intended outcomes when things are working on you. And that's what makes things hard in those moments. We're like, well, what should I do? Should I leave? Should I quit? Just make sure that you're ready to go. When you go, make sure you're ready to go. When you go, you're not coming back as a substitute, as a temporary employee. You are gone. You're not covering for someone's shift. Like you are out of there. And you got to arrive at that state. You got to arrive at that state. And when you do, I guarantee you it'll be so freeing for you. And here's what I challenge you to do. Give me an update. Reach out. Doc, I left. Here's my business. Doc, I might want to take you in as a client. Like whatever it is, reach out, give me the update. I love when people have some follow through. I love when people, stay in touch and stay in tune. Mhm. Listen, this has been truly great, truly remarkable. I hold a few degrees and can go anywhere, but I just want to pursue my own thing full time. So what you got to do, I'm going to do a little bit of coaching. And let me see if I can actually do it this way. Because you're going to be, let me just see. Let me see if I can pull up my tool. Or we could just do it this way. We're going to start with the end of mine because I don't think I can log into the account where my tool is for coaching that I want to use with you. Give me 1 sec. Let me just. Nope, it's not in this one. All right, give me 1 sec. I got an idea. Thank you all for your patience. Y'all know how technology is. Sometimes it's ready to go. Sometimes it needs a little patience. All right, let's see. Are you kidding me? It's not in this one either. All right, so here's what we'll do. We're going to just start with the end of mine. So your ultimate outcome is to be your own boss full time. That's here at the top of the pyramid. So we're going to work backwards. What are some of your thoughts and beliefs around your potential to be successful with your own business? All right. And while you're looking, I found what I actually wanted to pull up. Let me just see. So I'm just going to do this. So we got your end goal at the top of the pyramid, and your end goal is having your own business, right? Doing your own thing, being your own boss full time. And I asked you, what are some of your thoughts and beliefs around being successful with that end goal? You said, I think having a good support system would be beneficial. So again, we're working backwards. And in order for this to be extremely impactful, we have to be extremely specific. So having a good support system is very broad, very general. Let's zoom in on that. So instead of wording it as having a good support system, I want you to word it exactly as it would be. So for example, for me, if I were you doing this is what I would say. I have a coach, Dr. Lewis. We meet weekly. We're looking at metrics to gauge my progress towards moving towards that final goal. I have several other mentors in the space or the niche that my business is in. These are highly successful people who have been doing this work for at least 10 years. We meet monthly. They are a part of my mastermind group. And I'm going to pause and explain it. You want to surround yourself with people that are doing some of the things that you either want to do or they've either already done it. So you need them in your circle. Don't worry about the how. We're just identifying what you need right now. There's your support system. And notice, I would have mentioned family if family fits those criteria. Have any of your family already done those things that you aspire to do? Are any of those family members in that niche that you are pursuing? Because this is where we get stuck. And you said earlier that you lack mentorship. And I said to you, do you lack access to mentorship or do you lack mentorship itself? And it's most likely that you lack mentorship itself because right now you're getting some mentorship. So it's not that you don't have it. You're getting some mentorship right now, giving you the blueprint right now. Take notes. Here's the other thing. So if you look at the right side of the pyramid, I apologize in advance. I'm so far zoomed in, it doesn't really look like a pyramid. But when you look to the right, the other pillar on that pyramid, your habits. What habits do you exercise regularly that are moving you towards that goal? And if there's none, I want you to be honest, be vulnerable, say none. Say at this point, I haven't done anything. If you do have some solid habits that will definitely help you have your own business full time and leave your 9 to 5, okay, so there you go. And thank you for being honest because that helps us move forward. So if your end goal is to run your own business full time, how are you in terms of managing your time currently? What does it look like? Do you have your 9 to 5 and then you have a time that you stick to for family dinner on a daily basis? Do you have some talk time with your partner on a daily basis? Do you have some time just to enjoy your family's company on a daily basis? Some things that, because you talked about having a solid support system earlier, and I told you there's a support system over here. But when we look at some habits that move you towards this goal, keeping your peace and sanity. Like, we don't go into our own business so it drives us crazy. We go into our own business so we have some freedom. Barely, but I need to make the time. There we go. Okay. And again, the honesty is what's going to move us towards that end goal. So to move towards that end goal, we need to change our thoughts and our beliefs. You said the support system, and I identified some solid approaches towards a support system that's going to help you move towards that end goal. We talked about some habits. What's your self-care routine look like? Because if you don't have a good self-care routine right now, when it's time to be in that business full time, it's going to be easy to get bogged down with well, I got to meet with a client. Well, I got to take this phone call. I don't got time to brush my teeth. Like, and I say that humorously, right? But if you don't have a solid self-care routine, like every day I wake up at 4:30, I go run 8 miles, I come back, get ready for my day, and face whatever comes my way. The first thing I wake up, thank God for the gift of another verbally. And then I set my 10 goals. Then I get out of bed, go brush the teeth, shave the head, all that stuff. And then I go run. So I'm going to pause there because I said a lot and I gave you a lot. And I told you all earlier at the beginning of the hour for the live. People do not give out blueprints like this. They talk to you about it. They hint at it. They tell you how it worked for them, but they're not giving it to you. Just wanted to give it to you. And those of you that tuned in, I hope that this was purposeful for you to see, to hear, to experience. And to bless, I'm wishing you nothing but positivity and success. And I really want you to realize, if you want this, like if you truly want it, like when I want a haircut and I go get a haircut, I do it myself, then this is going to work for you. If you're just going through the motions and having a conversation because it sounds good, well, let me just say this. Let me say I got my own. Because everyone that has an LLC, they love, oh yeah, I got my own business. Well, how much money are you making? Huh? Well, is it full time? Huh? Full who? Like, so we just got to get moving. Make that decision. What do we want to do? Do we really want this? And what you're experiencing, you said they're antagonizing you at work. All right, it's time to put up your non-negotiables. And I'm not talking about, yelling at people or cursing anyone out. I don't curse myself, but the non-negotiables. And it sounds like you've been tolerating some stuff that you just know you shouldn't be tolerating. And it sounds like you might be a little stuck with, how do I navigate tolerating or no longer tolerating this and planning my exit strategy at the same time? Sounds like a coaching session to me. But listen, you all have been truly great. Much gratitude to everyone for their time, their energy, their insight, their wisdom, their vulnerability tonight, their courage to have this discussion. And I'm grateful for this opportunity. Please follow me if you haven't already. The link is in my bio for coaching sessions. And the link's also in my bio for a goal setting course. It's the only goal setting course you will ever need. I promise you, I stand by it. So I'm going to get off here because I got to go take care of the Lewis family. You all have been truly great. And until next time, I'll see you all next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Stay positive, everyone. Stay blessed. Excuse me.